Three, two, one.
Welcome to the Dennis and Andy Show. Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. We will be talking about What If? Episodes 4 and 5. Dennis watched the new one earlier today. This guy was up till 3 a.m. last night doing shots. And after I took my daughter to work, I crashed until about 1. And have not watched anything. So we will talk about episodes 4 and 5, the Doctor Strange and the zombie episodes. I saw that.
You did? Small's violin. Yeah, baby.
Whatever.
Well, I woke up about the time you went to bed this morning.
Well, that's your problem. And if you're wondering why I was up so late, it's because I closed this bad boy out. First Man 2 Learning Curve is now in demand. But you always want to end on a high note, and we did. I wanted to do over 30,000. I wanted to hit 500 backers. At 3 a.m., it was 32,000 and change, and it was 504 backers, I think. So I've even picked up a few more since then. Thank you guys so much for backing this. Thank you. Hyper Kaiju is in the house. You feel free to still post links because this baby's in demand. I saw your comment, and now I'm curious. Well, it looks like I'm dropping Batman 89. I did pick it up. I haven't read it yet. So please, in the chat, you'll have to tell us why you're dropping it. Oh, look at that. You think we're done? We're just getting started. We are. I've actually added stuff for in demand. Oh, look at that. Get yourself a First Man t-shirt.
And somebody already did.
Exactly. So you can see First Man when you're walking towards somebody, you can show everybody you're a first maniac. And when you're walking away and they do that look back, they'll be like, oh, look at the ever vivacious penumbra on the back of the shirt. Nice black tee, very good quality. It's the same company Graham and Ethan use. Those guys are awesome. And for the high roller in your life, I added, and I don't sell my original art, but I added their original art to the parody ad. I've got a bigger scan of it down here. Well, as big as you can do on Indiegogo, I should say. Right here, a nice color scan. Actually, I took a photo of it with my phone. This baby's huge, 14 inches across, 21 and a half inches high. You could own a piece of history because I don't sell a lot of my interior art from the comics I draw. I just usually sell cover sketches and commissions. So Hyper Kaiju says, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read it yet. Fight Girls continue. I got Fight Girls as well, so I'm going to read Fight Girls.
We'll be talking. We want to know why you're dropping Batman 89.
He doesn't want to spoil anything, and I can respect that because I want to read it. So the next time we're on, we'll chat about it. And I'll see if I can figure out why you said you're dropping it.
Well, I picked it up and I put it down. I did not grab number 2.
Did you just look through it and realize you didn't want it? Because for some reason, really, there's something visually in it. You were like,
I was just like, yeah, it did not grab me like the first one. Maybe because it didn't have that great cover with the Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh man, girl. He says it goes woke AF. Really? All right, well, don't say any more.
Well, good. I'm glad I didn't pick him up. I saved my $4.
I'm going to read it. I'll read it tonight. I'm very curious now. I'm definitely taking a night off because, Monday Comics Gate Kings. Last night doing my closeout. And tonight, as much as I would like to join Graham Nolan and talk about the great Joe Kubert, I just don't have it in me. And then tomorrow night's the professionals. So there you go. So anyhow, I want to show this. Thank you, everyone. Please keep backing it because more stretch goals will be added. I'm toiling around. I'll probably have made a decision on what 40,000 and 50,000 will be come Monday, but I want to give it some nice thought over the weekend for you guys. But as of now, everybody's getting a 4x6 double-sided trading card. See, Dennis?
I know.
Everybody's getting the metal bookmark, a nice metal bookmark, and everybody will get a 7x10 mini print on nice stock paper. So nice heavier paper. So there you go. And then, of course, 8 extra pages of story total. So it'll be basically the same amount of story as First Man Volume 1. It'll have the bio pages in the back and the parody ad. So there you guys have it. All right, let's move on to
new comics.
It is new comics, but before we do new comics, I thought we should pay a little tribute to this genius of a comedian. No, not Conan O'Brien. Norm Macdonald left us yesterday.
61 years young.
61 years young is exactly right. Guy's not even 10 years older than us.
He was amazing.
He was fighting cancer, which nobody knew. I mean, you say, and I never knew. Congrats. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate it. Nobody knew because he didn't want people to look at him differently and be like, oh, poor Norm, he has cancer. And, I can respect that. I honestly can't say if I came down with anything, knock on wood, besides having the disease of great looks, which, unfortunately, Dennis, I can't pass it on to Dennis. Remind me to call my mom back.
You've always got one of your phones ringing.
I know. So I cannot pass the disease of these great looks on to Dennis. It's not contagious. But, seriously, if I ever came down with something really bad, I'm not quite sure I'd be sharing it. I actually
respect him for that because, he went and did his thing.
Right. And he didn't want people to pull away from it.
Right. And he was who he was. He believed in comedy. He believed in true comedy where you could say whatever you wanted and you didn't care about offending people. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but he was fantastic.
Exactly. So let's listen to a little bit of Norm. We pulled some of his greats.
Couple of fun ones.
You got to tell me when to stop this because you said when to begin it.
Well, you'll know it.
Really? Because we're not going to hear it.
Oh, yeah, let's start it.
I'll hear it on my one headphone. What bit? Is it just after this first bit?
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we won't get a copyright thing for this.
That's what he said. Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, you should be noted that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
All right, let's go to next one.
I came in. He was supposed to be the.
Yeah, we just got 2. These are really funny, so let's listen to the next one.
He's a good history teacher, too.
I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, try to scare you, But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? Why'd I have to watch that stupid show? There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... In the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. That had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
It was actually close.
Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, that guy, and I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world. Hey, for the 9th consecutive...
Yeah. Oh, my God. He is going to be so missed. He was definitely just one of the greats.
You know, he knew when to stop talking and just let the crowd look at him and laugh. He knew, like all great comedians, he knew how to do it.
Oh, it was his timing for sure.
Yep, he was great. No hold barred. He had a lot of funny bits, you know. The O.J. Simpson trial, he was nonstop. If you guys can remember Saturday Night Live, he was fantastic. But we could fill up this entire show just going through his O.J. Simpson bits from SNL and stuff like that. But he will be missed at the young age of 61. Yeah. We figured we had to at least talk about him because he was just one of the greats.
He definitely was. All right, now we're going to move on to what came out this week. What did the boys get? I will tease you by telling you I had a major week. I bought not one, not two, 3 books this week. I got 3 books this week. Look at those 4 people, and there's only 3 books for them to hold. That's right. I got 3 books. This is not one of them, though.
That's what was mine.
That's Marauders. Dennis. It's Marauders.
It's been fun.
Could this cover have any more lack of testosterone?
I
mean, this cover is so weak.
It is.
And so, like, compositionally, it's not weak. Compositionally, this cover is fine. But, what comics are missing these days are balls. Comics are still mostly bought by guys. They are. Sorry to say it, that if you want to look at your target audience and you want to sell to the target is men. And not that girls don't buy them. Girls always have. Let's see what modern X-Dribble Dennis is suffering through. Exactly.
There is suffering in that.
3, dude, I buy 3 is a big week for me. I get more back issues. I got some stuff off of eBay today.
There are weeks where he comes back, man, there wasn't any books I bought.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything.
I wound up finding some back issues then, but look at his back issues.
Yeah.
But, so 3 books for Andy is huge. I've been averaging about 20, so this was probably a little bit shy for me this week.
So this is just a very non-masculine cover. It makes me not want to pick the book up. I mean, it doesn't make me want to pick the book up. It's like, oh, look at the candy colors. It's like somebody threw Skittles down for the framing device of
the rainbow.
The guns. Is it the Rainbow Coalition coming at the Marauders? I don't know.
It's, Dribbles. Well, this has actually been a fun comic book. If any of them, it's at least been fun. Although hard hitting, I wouldn't say that it's definitely had its moments and its ups and downs. Unfortunately, a lot of the X books are missing the oomph that made X-Men so spectacular.
Why is this video not showing here? That's weird. Hold on. I don't quite
know
what's going on.
You're having technical difficulties.
I guess so. Trial of Magneto. And by the way, Hyper Kaiju says, how do you even find 20 books worth buying? Well, they're not Marvel and DC is how Dennis does it.
So the biggest thing is as you guys have noticed, if you go back and check, and Hyper, you watch a lot of the broadcast, it is a lot of the small Aftershock, the AWA Upshot comics, Small Point Press, once in a while Black Mask. Image has had some pretty good books that have been coming out. Scout Comics. So I'm going to be working on something over the next couple of weeks. I got in touch with Scout Comics and I touched base, and they're going to be sending me previews of their books to review them. So I'm going to figure out how I get them, because I'm going to get them electronically, and how I'm going to incorporate that. But I am going to find a way, because I do love these small publishers, and they are putting out some interesting stuff. Not all of them are home runs, but I'm willing to give them a chance. Just like Moths, I think issue 4 came out today. I didn't really know. It's looked really interesting, but then I found out it ties into J. Michael Straczynski's Resistance. So, I find out some stuff.
It's funny. It makes me question your taste in comics. Eric, you got to go back and look at some of Dennis's reviews and quick flips that aren't from Marvel and DC.
Yeah, Chariot was fantastic. It was a 5-issue mini-series. If you're a fan of 80s and Automan and Charlie Sheen's The Wraith movie and stuff like that.
That's what Dennis is talking about. Books from IDW Image.
Boom. Yep, I didn't mention Boom. That's another really good one.
And of course, Dennis backs a lot of Indiegogo stuff as well. And,
my Marvel is down to the X titles, and I've even dropped Thor. So I'm down to Guardians of the Galaxy main title and X titles. And that's it for Marvel. And I was a huge Marvel fan at one time. My DC is now down to 0.
See,
I no longer have any 0 DCs left.
See, Dennis turns you into some good stuff. Look at that. You're doing a public service.
Yeah, so
he gets
Cantu. I was getting Cantu. Magic was really good. Silver Coin. Yep. Rick and Morty. Particularly Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons. That was one of mine. Silver City was really good. But yeah, go back in and kind of check. I do quick flips usually late Wednesday night or Thursday, where they're YouTube shorts. So I get 60 seconds, or technically 59 seconds or less, just to flip through a book to let you guys see the art and see if it looks interesting. Deep Beyond happened to be one of them that we did. Andy and I both did on issue number 1, and it was one that I did the quick flip on. We wound up loving it.
Yeah.
This was a great book. Radiant Black was another one we picked up. Same kind of thing. Another really decent book.
Oh, here's finally one that I got this week.
Look at that. It's an Andy book.
It's an Andy book because there's a babe on the cover and a big shark. Love sharks. Frank is killing me. He's doing babes. He's got sharks and monsters.
And they all look good.
So, yeah, Frank Cho and Sabine Rich, the colors. Fight Girls number 3. I'm going to try and read this one tonight as well. Frank can make a chick wearing a one-piece bathing suit look hot. I mean, look at that right there. You cannot go wrong. Eric wants to know what Deep Beyond is about.
Deep Beyond starts out as pretty much like you would think. It's like an Abyss, like the Abyss movie, something like that. It starts under sea in the future, a dystopian Earth. And it starts changing into something completely different. Kind of maybe mesh up some Stargate, some other stuff as we start digging into it. What you can always do is, if you go to our channel, the Dennis and Andy Show, I do hashtag quick flips, and which are the 59-second reviews, or you could do hashtag a full review, which is what I just did. So you can go back and watch the video. I did one for the first several, and then I just finished it off with the last couple. So I think it was issues 1 through 5, and then I did 6 and 7 on a full review. So you can go back and watch them. It's turned out to be a pretty decent book. I didn't know if I was going to keep it. What I usually try and do is give these indie titles or any new title at least 3 issues. And then I'll usually do a 3-issue review and just see if I like it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I keep them.
Before we get to a couple of those questions, I was going to say, Fight Girls, 10 women, 4 challenges, 1 crown. Spoiler alert, the crown is me. The winner gets me. Frank didn't want me to let the cat out of the bag, but I did. So there you go.
Wasn't it, didn't it start off with 12 women? Or was it 10 and it's down to 8? So again, you can go back and check the reviews. So yeah, we did some reviews on this. This has been a fun book. I mean, there's nothing earth-shattering, but it's fun. It's a little bit.
No, it's a popcorn movie of a comic book, is what it is. It's babes fighting monsters. It's a competition. There's a little subplot going on behind the scenes. All to become Queen Bee. Dennis, have you checked out the Milestone book, Static Hardware, Icon, and Rocket? I personally enjoyed Icon and Rocket. The others didn't grab me. I haven't. If I did, I would have looked at Icon because that's just the character I remember from back then that I enjoyed. So.
Yeah, and out of that one, I was going to say Static would probably be the one that I would at least give the first shot to.
No, John. I don't think John's doing anything for IDW. No, John's pretty much.
John was doing the Visions, the Star Trek Visions, which were great, by the way, because I am a huge fan of the original photo novels from Star Trek, from the original series. I've got them all. And then when he started doing these, it was such an homage to the 12 that they had done back in the 70s. It was great. I picked up every one. I think John did a great job with them. I don't know if there was one that I didn't like. There were some that were outstanding and some that were good. But I enjoyed that series. And as far as I know, he's done and not doing anymore.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's done. He's just working on his X-Men Elsewin fan fiction story. And I assume doing some commissions. So check it out. 10 women. I believe it was always 10 women, and it just gets
started out
down.
as 10. Yeah.
Right. So it's
not a spoiler. It's down to 8 by the end of the first one.
Right. Well, now it's down to 6, I think. Or 7. I don't know. Congrats. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate it. Thank you. The campaign is now in demand. I got T-shirts. I got a T-shirt up there and another original art tier. This feels like a Tarantino movie to me. Kinda.
It does in a way. That's actually a good one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fanfic stuff John's doing. I've only read the first 12 issues, but I liked what I read.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, let's see what else we got here. Blade Runner.
So there's the 2 Blade Runner series, Origins and 2029 right now. Both of them have solid. I'm a few behind right now because of the sheer number of books that I've got. But these have been really, really decent. If you're a fan of the Blade Runner movies, and they do keep to the history and the canon very well in them, they have been pretty solid. So I think that's Titan that's putting those out.
There you go. Beyond the Breach.
Beyond the Breach, you can check. This is issue number 3. I think I did a full review of the first one and quick flips of each of the other ones. I'm going to be doing the full review of 1 through 3. Surprisingly good. Another one that I thought it was just going to be a bunch of kaijus, no offense, Hyper, that were going to be doing it, but it's actually an interesting story.
Thank you for posting the link. If you'd like a Dennis and Andy Show shirt like this that we're modeling, feel free to pick yourself up one. And I got to tell you, this cover has balls. You know, I'm not busting on Marvel because there's, female care. I don't care. I think female characters are great. I've always loved them. Phoenix, Miss Marvel, Spider-Woman. This cover has balls, though. Look at that. She's kicking ass, big gun. These characters, that's just cool.
Yeah, if you guys want to, by the way, Andy's read it. We had talked, and I just did my full review last night. Vinyl, I did the full review of issues 1, 2, and 3. They're
you finally read them all?
Plastic. Yeah, I read number 3 last night. I had to do the review. Yet. It's fantastic.
You read Plastic?
No, Vinyl.
Yeah,
so Vinyl is all about serial killers and how they have to bring serial killers in for other ones. It's so. I'm surprised if you're a fan of Dexter or anything in that genre. This is really surprisingly good stuff. But I did the full review, so pull up my Vinyl hashtag full review on our website. You wanted to know about a good book.
There you go. Of course, Star Trek. That's Dennis, year 5.
Yeah, the IDW Star Trek stuff in year 5. This has been probably one of my favorite runs of Star Trek in decades. Well, then that's Gary 7.
But is that Kirk on the cover?
Looks like it.
Kirk. It's the yellow shirt. Moths.
Moz, this is the one I was kind of mentioning. Issue 4 came out. This had a really cool premise behind it, and this ties into the world of resistance and the resistance uprising, which I haven't read yet. So I feel bad, and I might know more about this afterwards. But people get these abilities, and they're like superheroes. They gain these powers, but they don't know they're random. But once a power activates within them, they get 6 months to do whatever they're going to do, and then they die, just like a moth. So once they activate, they got 6 months to utilize their powers before they die off. It's a super interesting concept, but you'll have to go check the full review to see what I think of it.
That's right. That's why we do it. That's why Dennis does the quick flips and full reviews to get you guys to go look at those. 10 minutes of your time, and you'll know if you want to buy this book. Hyper Kaiju says, Boom Power Ranger series going. Have you got? I haven't. Now I look at it every week it comes out because I think the art in Power Rangers is just phenomenal. I was never into the Power Rangers. I did get the series from about 6 or 7 years ago. Power Ranger series that Dan Mora did the art in. Dan Mora, who's working for DC now. And that's where I actually discovered Dan's art on Klaus that he did with, I believe, Grant Morrison. And then I saw him doing Power Rangers, and I was like, man, I never got into the Power Rangers, but this art is off the hook. And so I do. I look at some of the art in Power Rangers whenever the new ones come out, and the art just looks fantastic. But I will say I haven't picked them up just because I've got so much other stuff.
So a friend of ours, he has Gatsby's comics. He does a lot with the Power Rangers, and he's got a huge number of big Power Ranger fans. They are loving the current series because they just started the new ones. I haven't personally read them because I just didn't go back and get all the original ones, but the big fans of Power Rangers are loving this. So I can give you secondhand knowledge from what his customers tell him because he sells a lot of them.
So issue 3 of Bermuda came out this week, huh?
I know. Same thing. I'm going to finish. I'll read this one, and I'm going to do the full review and let you guys know. This was an interesting concept.
It's Nick Bradshaw on art, and is it John Layman doing the story? I can't remember who the writer is, and this cover doesn't say.
And basically, it's the Bermuda Triangle. All the ships, all the things that have disappeared over the years, the centuries, wind up going to this island. That will be this person's living on this island, and it'll be an interesting thing to find out what's going on this island, and does he and or she leave the island?
Ooh. Campasi, Campaso.
Yeah, so Campisi, the dragon incident. I did a full review. I had a lot of people wanting me to do the full review of the first one. I thought the story was really decent. I really enjoyed the story. My biggest complaint, and you can go check out the full review, is the art was just okay. When you're dealing with dragons...
Is it the same guy that does the cover?
I don't know who did the cover on this one.
Well, does it look the same?
I don't know. I got to see the whole thing. No, because
if only the book was somewhere close by.
I know, and it's not, so I'm not going to.
It's about 10 feet away from us.
And it's in their bag. It'll take me 5 minutes. So, all I'm going to say is the story is interesting because it's dealing with what happened in the world where there were dragons back in, medieval type times in a world, and they brought forward, and the dragon still exists in today. In a world
where there's dragons exist. Look at those 4 people from the Fourth World Foundation.
I'm going to give it the 3 issues. I just really, if you're dealing with majestic dragons and stuff, right, I really wanted the art to follow through with it. So the story's great. The arts was mediocre in the first one, but I'm going to give it to 3. Maybe I'll change my mind on it.
All right. Well, that's an honest review. Well, you know what I mean. Primordial. Is this a new one or is this a 2?
No, this is
brand number 1. Yeah, brand new.
So you guys want to know something interesting that might be good, which I'll do. Nice this art. Is cool. Sci-fi collides with the Cold War. So this is it's a little mini series that Image is putting out. If you remember, in 1957, Russia launched the dog Laika into Earth's orbit, and then 2 years, you remember, the U.S. responded
with a monkey
by putting up 2 monkeys, Abel and Baker, and then we just assumed that the 2 monkeys that the U.S. launched in real life just died. However, this story tells us they did not die, but something happened in outer space. And now they're coming back to Earth.
Wait, I'm curious now. On a real side note, so we launched 2 monkeys and they did die up there?
Well, we launched 2 monkeys.
They never came back?
No. We have not seen them since.
Really?
Right.
So wait, was the whole point? I honestly don't know this. So this is fun.
When we were trying to launch humans into space.
Right, but the whole point is we launched them with the intent of something, of them eventually coming. Well, there was no intent for them to come back.
No, just like the Russians.
So basically we sacrificed 2 monkeys to get up into space just to kind of,
because they're as close to
what we could find out.
Oh
man, U.S. of A. Well, it's monkeys. It's not dogs.
So go visit Space Camp or NASA. And you can
Russians doing a dog.
They did a dog. So, but anyway, this is kind of the what if story, or is it the real story of what happened to him?
Planet of the Apes confirmed. I might actually have to pick this up. That sounds very interesting.
I know. I'm really looking forward, and it's just a mini series. So chances are, unless this really sucks, I'll pick up the whole thing.
Chances are.
This wasn't one that was on my
seriously
list.
Is this a number 1?
Well, it's I think it's a one shot. It's dealing with, if you remember, Princess Leia dressing up as I think it's Bausch, and that's actually who the character was supposed to be. So anyway, that's it's going to be a one-shot story. I like the bounty hunter stuff, so he put it in my box. I picked it up. I wasn't going to hand it back.
Whenever you put something in Dennis's box, he generally likes it,
and I usually buy it.
Now I picked Batman '89 up. Hyper Kaiju is saying he is now done with it after reading issue 2. I wasn't actually going to read this tonight. I was going to save it for the weekend, but damn it, you got me so interested that I'm actually going to read this after dinner before Fight Girls, because I'm dying to know what has you go. That's it. I'm done. Now, if whatever it is I agree with, the only reason I might still get it is because I really like the guy's artwork and how he's depicting the characters and the Batman costume. It really looks, I mean, it's so reminiscent of the movie. But man, you got me so curious to see what they're doing in this. So I'll find out tonight.
Can't wait to find out.
Let's see. Fight Girls was a nice palate cleanser.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. So I'll read Fight Girls after Batman '89.
Fight Girls is like ginger at a sushi bar.
Exactly. And then I also picked up I Am Batman. Once again, I'm a huge fan of Olivier Coipel's work.
Yes.
His artwork I've been a fan of since way back when he started at DC on the Legion. And then, of course, he went and spent a couple decades at Marvel, just hitting home runs at Marvel and Siege,
Thor,
and House of M, Thor. I love his work so much that I'm like, damn it, it could be I'm Crapman, and I probably would have bought it because I love his work. Luckily, it's Batman. The only thing that would have been better is if it was Superman, but I flipped through it. I just love the guy's work.
And I almost bought it because the art is good in this. But I was like,
It's not Bruce Wayne. So Dennis was like, I'm out.
I was like, yeah, I'm done.
He's done. So that was it. So Dennis did not have a big, joyous week.
This was the smallest week that I've had in a long, long time.
Which is good because it's his turn to buy dinner tonight, and I'm hungry.
Yep, so I can apparently afford it. But you guys wanted to know an interesting book to read. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah.
It is called The Search for Who. Issue number 1, I just did the full review last night. I posted the quick review, and I had a lot of people publicly do it and then privately, because a lot of people don't like to post things. I encourage you to on all the reviews, but they were like, please do a review of this. We really want to do it. What's it called? The Search for Who, but Who is H-U. And the Who is a clan. So it winds up being two basically people historically from Jewish Chinese clans.
Oh my God, Dennis is reading a clan book now.
Not that kind of clan.
This is the Dennis show.
Whoa, wow. I've never seen. Seriously, now I'm waiting for you to go grab your hoodie. But no, I put up the review. A lot of people were asking for it, and it's intriguing. And you can tell they're world building. They add some really neat stuff in it. Not superhero, so if you want a superhero book, this is not for you. But it wound up being a really solid read.
Cool. All right, we're going to shift gears here and talk about the latest episodes of What If. And, we're honestly a week behind because I haven't seen today's. But we've got 2 episodes, though. We've got episode 4, which was Doctor Strange. And are you sure we haven't talked about the Doctor Strange one yet?
No, because we wound up not talking about either one of them.
Okay, so we've got to talk about Doctor Strange. And, of course, this is kind of a spoiler on what I think of it. Favorite episode so far, the zombie one.
Yep.
I wasn't a big fan. So getting with Doctor Strange, the title of it is What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart instead of his hands, but metaphorical heart, not his literal heart.
Which is too bad. It would have been more interesting if it would have been his physical heart.
Yeah. Well, and that's actually when I read the title, I thought, okay, so he's going to have a car accident and it's going to affect his heart, which could affect him operating because of stress and things like that.
I started thinking Tony Stark. Arc reactor
or Tony Stark. Yeah. So I thought all these different things, but instead it was just kind of like a little romance thing where he's in the car and what's the girl's character again? Rachel McAdams' character, Christine, is driving with him. They're on their way to a banquet, just like he was in the movie.
Just like the movie.
And he has an accident, but instead of his hands getting all mangled and stuff, she dies.
Yes.
Which, it's funny because the reason he went on this journey in the first place was because his hands were so mangled, he was willing to do anything to be able to use his hands again and get it back up for surgery. So that led him to the temple and stuff.
Right, and that led to the Ancient One and getting introduced, which, Tilda Swinton played, and although they swapped out some stuff, she wound up being an interesting choice in the movies. And it worked in the movie. This one, same thing. She's the love of his life.
Right.
And this winds up basically being a version of like Groundhog Day, where he relives it over and over again, trying to find a way to save her.
But the thing is, it's like, okay, so the love of his life dies. I get it. But now he's not Doctor Strange or anything. So he goes on this adventure to try and figure out, I guess, a way to reverse time or something. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
He is Doctor Strange. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme, but he was a sorcerer.
At the point when she died?
Yeah, because that's why he already went and tried reversing the time, because he kept mulling over it because he had the Eye of Amagato.
No, I thought the way it was set up. Okay, well, I take it back. I thought he wasn't yet.
But he wasn't the Sorcerer Supreme.
No, I know he wasn't the Sorcerer Supreme.
Because he has a good interaction with the Ancient One.
I didn't think he even had that yet when the car crashed. I thought it was just like the movie where the car crashed and he then was like, I need to go on this quest to figure out there's got to be some way. And he was reading through some old stuff and was like, oh, there's the place I can go to. And that's when he became a sorcerer. And
well,
stuff,
obviously it wasn't that good because neither one of us can remember the actual correct story.
Right. I'm going with what I said, to be honest, because I'm almost positive. I can't say I'm going to go back and rewatch it just because it was just like Dennis said. It was Groundhog Day. It was him doing, I know, we're not going to go on a date. Let's just order pizza in. And then she chokes and dies or some crap. Or it's like, I know, I'm not going to go. She can go by herself. And then she steps onto a curb and gets hit by a
The
bus
one
or
thing
some
that
shit.
they add to the Marvel Universe is there are some things that are considered hard points in time, that no matter what happens, you can never change the outcome of a particular event.
Video is awful.
The video,
I mean, our video.
yeah, I know. The death of Christine Palmer is a hard event in life, in that almost nothing can break, and none of the Sorcerer Supremes before can change a hard point in time and space like that.
Oh, look, wait, Dennis, hold on. I was right. Of course I was.
You know, every broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, no, I knew that was the thing. I don't remember how he found the place to go to become Doctor Strange and what led him there, but that was the whole thing that was kind of annoying too, is it's like,
well, he already had his abilities when he went up there because he couldn't get up to the library because he had to pour it up, and he already had the abilities.
But point is, it's just like, your heart's broken, you lose the love of your life, go drown yourself in a bottle like Tony Stark would do. Come on, man. That was my Joe Biden. Come on, man.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that. Because
Come
there wasn't
on,
a kid over there you
man.
were sniffing.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you, the art is fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
the animation,
they
got almost all of the voice actors. The cool thing was how she splits them into 2 different ones. And I really do like the fact that, I really like, because I don't want to call them evil versus good, but there really is an evil or a guy who would do anything to bring her back. I loved his cape. That was kind of the highlight for me. That was kind of
I'm going to call you back in about a half hour.
So anyway, all in all, it was an okay one. It looked good, but it definitely wasn't my favorite one.
I'm a good son. When mom calls, I answer. You just never know what could be up with your mother, so I answer because...
But did you hear what he said? Get back to knitting, mother.
I did.
You got quilts you got to finish.
Liar.
Oh, that's Happy Gilmore. I get you
exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. I wasn't a big fan, and I was going to say, and I think I will throw out there that this is probably my least favorite episode so far. Before it was
the first one.
The first one with
Captain America.
Right. Well, yeah. Captain what's her face?
Yeah, Captain Peggy
Carter. Captain Carter. That was my least favorite, but I do like Captain America stuff. Doctor Strange episode now, least favorite. On a CGC, I'd probably give it like a 4 or 5. I just didn't enjoy it that much.
I gave it a 5.0. It was okay. I mean, like I said, it looked great, but I was actually kind of, my wife came out, watched like 2 minutes of it with me, and she's like, oh. And she actually walked away.
She's like, oh my God, I'm going to go back to my K-dramas. They're so much better.
No, she's doing Supernatural right now.
Well,
she's been burning through seasons of Supernatural.
All right, so moving on.
What if zombies? Now, finally, this was one I was hoping to sink my teeth into. Get it? Sink my teeth into?
I get it.
Get it?
He can never do that to me because you need brains for that. See, I just busted myself.
You did. Word.
Yeah, no. So wait, it doesn't sound like you enjoyed this one.
I did. A matter of fact,
because you were like, your work up to it was, I was really looking forward to sinking my teeth into it, and then I was waiting for, but
there was no but. You kind of interrupted, so you took away my.
They're going to have some of these characters coming to the MCU. I think I might have read that.
Yep.
I like the way they set up the whole zombie thing because I've read some of the Marvel zombie stuff, not all of it. I read the initial Marvel zombie stuff that Kirkman did. And I like how they set it up with basically the Wasp going into the Quantum Zone. That's right, Quantum Zone, right? Yeah, Quantum Zone to retrieve her mom. And her mom's been down there, and who knows what's in the Quantum Zone. So she's basically turned into a zombie, escapes the Quantum Zone, or actually goes after... No, escapes the Quantum Zone. Yep. And then when she's real tiny, she's just like, bite. So, I mean, it's like a mosquito bite, basically, that starts the infection, and from there it just rolls on down the line.
So again, I agree with you because the original Kirkman, the original Marvel Zombies was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was new, it was intriguing. 2 wasn't bad. 3, became a cash grab kind of after that.
Right.
But the original Marvel Zombies concept was great. I mean, I really did like it. And with Kirkman doing it, I mean, obviously he can write zombies.
Yeah.
So this was good.
Well, the way they set it up too, they set it up at the end of or the beginning of Endgame with the Hulk coming back down to Earth when he gets sent back to Earth from what's his face there from Thor. Well, Thor didn't send him back. What's his face did that runs the bridge?
Heimdall.
Heimdall sends him back. So it starts off with Banner shooting through space, come back, crashes into Doctor Strange's mansion, just like in the movie, through the stairways, gets up. He's like, Thanos is coming. And he pokes his head around. He's like, where's everybody?
Yep.
And he goes out onto the street, and you see the 2 big bad guys, Thanos' minions, just like in the movie.
The Black Order.
Yep, the Black Order. And he's like, okay, Hulk, let's do this. You know, Hulk won't come out. Let's see. The Marvel Zombies is a true story. We have a president. Well, I mean, that's true. You're right. That's correct. We all know that for sure.
Zombie, half zombie puppet.
And then, you know, just the way they built it up, because then you see the Avengers come in to save the day, you know, a Doctor Strange portal. They take out the Black Order, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you see that they're zombies. You're just like, damn.
And they got Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner doing it. And he's like, whoa, hey, glad to see. Whoa. And you could just tell the fact that it is him just adds a lot to it.
Yep. Don't insult the zombies like that. Exactly. Even the zombies have more brains.
Well, we know who they wouldn't eat.
Right. They'd be like, like Biden wouldn't even have to slather himself in zombie goo. They would just be like, nope, this guy's got no stench on him worthwhile. Moving on.
He's already dead.
Then they would try Kamala and be like, nope, you just seem like you would taste bad.
What?
Moving on.
I think we could do a movie. I got this idea where there's a guy who dies, and then we could take him around on an island, and we'll call it Weekend at Biden's.
Yeah, well, that's totally what this is. I mean, this president is Weekend at Biden's, just, you know, Weekend at Bernie's, please.
Exactly.
I heard today, conspiracy theory, of course, that when Biden is speaking, like at a podium with a mic, that there is somebody there to cut the mic if they have to.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because Kayleigh McEnany was on Fox, and they were kind of mentioning that, and they're like, you know, in Trump's presidency, you weren't allowed to do anything until you knew for a fact he was done. Here at everyone, they've got somebody cutting off his mic. They actually had one where they were interviewing him the other day, and they were asking him questions, and they've got the interpreter that does all the sign language going on there, and they said, well, what about this? Oh, well, since you're asking about that, da-da-da-da-da, and she's signing, and she's like, oh, and cut to White House main screen. They just deleted everything. Couldn't even finish his topic. They cut away from the TV cameras altogether.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So getting back to the
real zombies.
Yeah. I will say the one thing with the Doctor Strange episode was, and I think it was the first episode that did this, it did not end on a high note. And I was like, wow, first episode of What If that did not end on a high note. You know, like things weren't resolved. And then 2 weeks in a row, Marvel Zombies, same thing. It didn't end on a high note. They were trying to, and this is obviously spoiler stuff, they were able to, the remaining heroes, Ant-Man, Black Panther, I believe it was Black Panther, right?
Uh-huh.
Who else was in the ship? God, I'm drawing a blank besides those two. But point is, it's been a week. You guys know my memory. They basically go to Wakanda. I said my memory, Dennis. There you go. They basically go to Wakanda because, well, they've got the shield. That's the safe space. And then it cuts to Wakanda, and Thanos is there, and he's a zombie, and some of his minions are there, and they're zombies. So basically, when they get to Wakanda, it's not a safe space. But they never show them get there. They just show them going there thinking, yay, we'll be safe there. And then cut to Wakanda. Not quite. Let's read some comments. Biden's trying to pass legislation where the IRS will have access to bank accounts that have...
Correct.
Are you kidding? That have transactions of 600 or
Which
more.
is almost every single person, correct. So the IRS will have full control and full access to all of our stuff. Yes.
Hyperkaiju's correct. Fireball does erase memories fast. I had too much Fireball last night. They said Zombie Joe is an earpiece to tell him who he's supposed to talk to, just like press conference. What if?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
He absolutely does.
Yeah, I mean, so getting back to what if, let's finish that.
My favorite part was the Vision segment.
Oh, the Vision
segment was great because they think they finally make it to the safe haven. Vision's got it. And he's like, oh, you guys made it. And all the zombies are not coming in there. They're like, oh, it's just Soul Stone. So that all makes sense. So all these cool little things. And then we find out that the Scarlet Witch is a zombie with all of her abilities, and she hasn't eaten in a week. And that totally was an absolutely fantastic part.
Bad guy pulling the rug.
I was wondering if we were going to get a House of M moment in that.
He does redeem himself because he's in the ship.
Yes.
I think. Is he in the ship or did he stay behind to hold off?
He stayed behind. He removed
his soul stone. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, and he stayed behind to allow them to escape.
Right. So, it was it's a
sad happy ending.
It's a sad happy ending, which is also what I get at massage parlors. There's sad happy endings. So it's a happy ending for me, but it's sad that the masseuse it's sad that the masseuse has to go through what she has to with me. So I'm all familiar with sad happy endings. Let's rate this one. You go first this time.
This is my favorite episode. I am giving this one a 9.0. This was fun. There was very little that I didn't like about it. I love the fact that there weren't a lot of happy endings. All I'm going to say, 9.0, hands down, my favorite episode. No woke garbage in this. No. None of that. I mean, it was an actually clean, fun episode, which was just really good to see.
I'm going 8.5. Still my favorite episode, but, I have, 8.5 is still very solid. So there you go. I know the premise of today's episode. Dennis told me the premise with Killmonger and Tony Stark, so I'll watch it tonight with my daughter.
So if you guys are following it, the next one, which we won't get into, but it's what if Killmonger had saved Tony Stark, so basically he doesn't become Iron Man.
Right. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sad for anybody watching this that lives in California, because you're stuck with Gavin Newsom. Jesus. Another walking zombie. Good Lord.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck out there in California.
We're happier on the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, my governor is a dummy Democrat, but he's not that much of a dummy. So, there you go. We will see you guys later. Maybe Friday, maybe not. Don't know yet. Play it by ear. You'll get a notification. So subscribe to the channel. And we always enjoy having you here. And one last time, there it is, guys. It's in demand now. I got T-shirts available. Let's watch the trailer full screen, shall we? This is the full one, baby. Oh, yeah. Monarch defeated. Yes. Thank you, Hyperkaiju, for posting the link. The link is also in the description below. And I checked it this time to make sure it works. It does. So back, First Man 2 Learning Curve. If you want a superhero graphic novel with balls, no BS, great superhero adventure, greatest superhero story there is. Get it now. Booyah. Thank you all for joining us, and we will catch you guys next time.
Yep, I did post a link for you guys can go through to our YouTube channel. I've got playlists set up so you can go through and check out all the quick flips, all the full reviews, and in case you missed any of our live shows, we do restream them. So I've got them up under the live stream playlist. So if you get bored, you can just listen to us 24/7, 365.
That's right. You know, if you were to say go to the playlist of the live streams and just turn the volume down, but let it play over and over and over, that would help out with the 4,000 hours. That's all I'm saying. It's just a tip. Hit the like button. Thank you, Hyper Guys. Thank you all. We will see you guys
maybe Friday.
Maybe Friday. Don't know yet. We got to figure it out. So until then, we'll see you guys.